Okay, good morning to all of you. And today my topic is front of thigh and adductor canal. So this is the bony landmark. In this diagram, we showing the bony landmark of front of thigh. So this is femur, this lower and tibia, this is fibula, this is pubic symphysis, this is pubic tubercle, this is anterior superior iliac spine, this is iliac crest, this is tubercle of iliac crest. So bony landmark is this is greater trochanter, lesser trochanter. These are the two important landmark: midpoint of inguinal ligament and midpoint of mid-inguinal point. So mid-inguinal point between pubic symphysis and anterior superior iliac spine. This is mid-inguinal point. In this point, situated posterior to the femoral artery. This is the midpoint of inguinal ligament between pubic tubercle and anterior superior iliac spine. This is the lateral to the mid-inguinal point. This is midpoint of inguinal ligament, and in this point, posteriorly situated to femoral nerve. So these are the most important bony landmark. These are the two condyles of femur. This is medial condyle of femur. This is lateral condyle of femur. This is lateral condyle of tibia. And this is medial condyle of tibia. And laterally to this is fibula, and this is the head of fibula. This is styloid process of fibula. So these are the bony landmark present in the front of thigh. And then let us start with cutaneous nerve. So in front of thigh, we seen these are the cutaneous nerve. So first ilioinguinal nerve, L1, femoral branch of genitofemoral nerve, L1, L2, lateral cutaneous nerve of thigh, L2, L3, intermediate cutaneous nerve of thigh, L2, L3, medial cutaneous nerve of thigh, L2, L3, saphenous nerve, L3, L4, cutaneous branch of the obturator nerve, L2, L3. So in this diagram, this is the front of thigh. This is attachment of inguinal ligament. So these are the cutaneous nerve. So lateral cutaneous nerve of thigh, intermediate cutaneous nerve of thigh, and this is the medial cutaneous nerve of thigh. And this is the ilioinguinal nerve, L1. This is femoral branch of genitofemoral. This is cutaneous branch of obturator nerve. So this is the medial compartment. This is adductor compartment. So it supply cutaneous supply by obturator nerve. This is lateral compartment of front of thigh. So these are the cutaneous nerve of mainly from femoral nerve. This is the saphenous nerve branch of femoral nerve. So these are the cutaneous nerve of the thigh. So start with ilioinguinal. So these are the lumbar plexus. So dark green color represent the posterior divisions, the dorsal division, and light yellow color represent the ventral division or anterior divisions. So these are the anterior division. So L1, first lumbar nerve segment form the ilioinguinal and iliohypogastric nerve. Both are root value L1. Second is genitofemoral nerve. It is root value is L1, L2. Third is lateral cutaneous nerve of thigh. It also root value 2 and 3, L2, L3. And ventral divisions of two ventral divisions or anterior divisions of L2, L3, L4 unite and form the obturator nerve, or dorsal division of or posterior divisions form the L2, L3, L4 form the femoral nerve. So these are the now femoral nerve. This is obturator nerve. So these are the lumbar plexus form the nerve. So in the front of thigh, we see the femoral nerve, and in the medial compartment see the obturator nerve. So let us start with cutaneous nerve. Lateral cutaneous nerve of thigh branch of lumbar plexus, root value is L2, L3, enters the thigh behind the lateral end of the inguinal ligament. It supplies the skin of the lateral aspect of thigh. So this is area supplied by lateral cutaneous nerve of thigh. So second is medial cutaneous nerve of thigh, a branch of femoral nerve, supply the medial aspect of front of thigh and patellar plexus around patella. So this is a compartment, medial compartment and medial cutaneous nerve of thigh. In between two lateral cutaneous nerve of thigh and medial cutaneous nerve of thigh, between two nerves running intermediate cutaneous nerve of thigh, it is branch of femoral nerve and it supplies the anterior aspect of thigh and join the patellar plexus, and then these are both nerve joints with patellar plexus around the patella. So next, the femoral branch of genitofemoral nerve, a branch of the lumbar plexus L1, L2, enter the thigh behind the middle part of inguinal ligament and supply the small area of the skin. Only single area supplied by small area of the small area of front of thigh, upper part of femoral triangle. So and this is the ilioinguinal nerve, a branch of lumbar plexus, root value L1, enter the thigh through the superficial inguinal ring. It supplies the small skin area below the medial part of inguinal ligament. So this is the ilioinguinal nerve supplied to medial part of inguinal ligament. This is the genitofemoral branch of femoral nerve. So these are the cutaneous nerve of front of thigh. These are the cutaneous nerve of front of thigh. Ilioinguinal nerve supply the only small area of medial side of inguinal ligament. This is genitofemoral nerve supplying to skin overlap the femoral triangle, and this is the lateral cutaneous nerve of thigh, intermediate and medial cutaneous nerve of thigh. In this diagram, these are the facial compartment of thigh. These are the compartment present on thigh. So thigh dividing into three compartments by three septa: lateral intermuscular septum, medial intermuscular septum and posterior intermuscular septum. These all septum attached to the linea aspera of femur or posterior border of femur. So these are the facial septum dividing into three compartments. Between medial and lateral compartment front, these are the anterior compartment or front of thigh. This is the anterior compartment. Between lateral intermuscular septum and posterior intermuscular septum, these are the this is the posterior compartment. Between medial and posterior intermuscular septum, this is the medial compartment of thigh. In this compartment, both three compartments supplying to each individual nerve and muscles. So this is in the front of thigh, anterior compartment supplying by all muscles supplying by the femoral nerve. Posterior compartment muscle supply or posterior compartment nerve of posterior compartment, that is sciatic nerve, and nerve of anterior compartment, nerve of medial compartment is obturator nerve. So these are the three compartments and these are the three nerve. Now, so in this lecture we discussed about anterior compartment. So these compartment we discussed in this lecture. Okay, and in this cutaneous veins, so in this compartment very important vein is long or great saphenous vein. So this is the vein seen in front of thigh. This is the largest and longest superficial vein of the lower limb. Saphenous means easily seen. It is the largest and longest superficial vein of the lower limb. So this is the longest and largest superficial vein of the lower limb. So this is the great saphenous vein. It entered the front of thigh and piercing the cribriform fascia. It is piercing the cribriform fascia. This is saphenous opening 4 cm below and lateral to pubic tubercle. This is the opening, oval shape opening called the saphenous opening. In this saphenous opening, cribriform fascia pierce the great saphenous vein, pierce the cribriform fascia and drain into femoral vein. So this is the great saphenous vein. These are the tributaries of veins, and this is the superficial veins, superficial epigastric, superficial external pudendal vessels, vein with arteries. This is the circumflex, superficial circumflex iliac vessels. So these are the superficial tributaries with arteries. So this is the great saphenous vein. Okay. So course of great saphenous vein. It begins on the dorsum of the foot from the medial end of the dorsal venous arch, run upward in front of medial malleolus and ascend on the medial side of the leg. So this is the dorsal venous arch. So medial end of dorsal venous arch and front of medial malleolus and ascend in the leg. It entered the medial aspect of the thigh by passing behind the knee, ascend and passing behind the knee joint. In the thigh, it inclines forwards to reach the saphenous opening, where is saphenous opening between 4 cm below and lateral to the pubic tubercle, where it pierces the cribriform fascia and open into the femoral vein. So in the front of thigh, it pierces the cribriform fascia and open and drain into the femoral vein. Content, so front of thigh, anterior compartment of thigh contain muscles, nerve and artery. Muscles, quadriceps femoris, 4 muscles, 3 vasti, vastus medialis, vastus intermedialis, vastus lateralis and rectus femoris. So these are the quadriceps muscles, articularis genu, sartorius, ribbon-like muscles, long muscles and tensor fascia lata. So these are the muscles present on the front of thigh. One nerve, so front of thigh nerve is femoral nerve and artery is femoral artery. So these are the structure including in front of thigh. First of we started with muscles of front of thigh. So muscles, quadriceps femoris. This muscle is so named because it consists of 4 parts: rectus femoris, vastus lateralis, vastus medialis, vastus intermedialis. It is supplied by the femoral nerve. So in this this is the muscles present on the front of thigh. So let us start with quadriceps femoris. First part of quadriceps femoris is rectus femoris. Rectus femoris is a long straight muscle with fusiform bipinnate belly. So according to pinnate classification, unipinnate, bipinnate, pinnate classification, it is bipinnate type of. In both the side, in the tendon, central tendon, and both the side of muscle fiber are present. So it is bipinnate in nature. In the upper 2/3 of and flat tendon in the lower 1/3. Latin rectus means straight, vertical. So origin of rectus femoris, it is 2 head, straight head and reflected head. Straight head arising from upper part of the anterior inferior iliac spine. Reflected head arising crude above the acetabulum cavity, cup-shaped cavity present on hip bone. So above the acetabulum. So this is the origin of rectus femoris muscle. So in this diagram showing this muscle is front, this bipinnate muscle is called the rectus femoris. So this is the origin, this is insertion. So origin is two head, straight head and reflected head. Straight head arising from anti-inferior leg spine and reflected head arising from above the acetabulum cavity. So this is the origin of rectus femoris. Insertion, two head unite, meet at the arcuate angle and form the fusiform belly which occupy the front of the thigh, and it inserted into base of the patella. So it is inserted into fiber are united and is united and bipinnate fusiform belly, then insert into base of patella. Nerve supply, as you know, front of thigh now is femoral nerve, so posterior division of femoral nerve supply to the rectus femoris muscle. Action, it extends the knee and flex the hip joint. So this is the action. Extends the knee joint and flex the hip joint. Come forward to the second muscle is vastus lateralis. So it take a linear and aponeurotic origin from the upper part of the intertrochanteric line, anterior and inferior border of the greater trochanter, lateral lip of gluteal tuberosity, and upper half of lateral lip of linea aspera of femur origin. So this is the vastus lateralis. So linear origin of, so this is the vastus lateralis, lateral side of front of thigh. This is vastus lateralis. This is linea aspera. So lateral lip, lateral lip of gluteal tuberosity, then lateral trochanter, and then trace with intertrochanteric line. So insertion, vastus lateralis, it is inserted by a broad aponeurosis into the tendon of rectus femoris, lateral part of the base of patella, and upper 1/3 of the lateral border of the patella. So this is the insertion of lateral insertion of vastus lateralis. Nerve supply, it is also supplied by the posterior division of femoral nerve. Action, it extension of knee joint. So extension of knee joint actions. And then this is the vastus medialis muscles. Origin of vastus medialis muscle is it take a linear origin. Same thing to vastus lateralis from the lower part of intertrochanteric line, spiral line, continue with medial lip of linea aspera. So this is a vastus medialis. So it is origin from medial lip of linea aspera and upper 2/3 of the medial supracondylar line. So this is the origin of vastus medialis. It also arises from the medial intermuscular septum. This is vastus medialis. Vastus medialis muscles. So this is the origin of vastus medialis muscle. Lower line of intertrochanteric line, then spiral line, and continue with the medial lip of linea aspera, then continue to medial supracondylar line. So this is origin. Insertion of vastus medialis, it is inserted by the broad aponeurosis into the tendon of rectus femoris, medial part of the base, and upper 2/3 of the medial border of patella. So this is vastus medialis, insert 2/3 of medial border of the patella and some part with the rectus femoris, base of patella. Nerve supply, it is supplied by posterior division of femoral nerve. So these are the nerves supplied by these muscles supplied by mainly by posterior division of femoral nerve. Action, it also extension of knee joint. Same as vastus lateralis. Action is same as vastus lateralis. Then forward to the last quadriceps muscle. Last muscle is vastus intermedialis. Origin, it is large muscles. Origin from 2/3 of anterior and lateral surface of 3/4 of the shaft of femur. So 3/4 part, maximum part of anterior and lateral surface of femur inserted
into the base of patella deep to the tendon of rectus femoris. So rectus femoris tendon lies superficial and vastus intermediate tendon lies to deep to the rectus femoris. Now it also supplied with by the posterior division of femoral nerve. Action, it also extension of knee joint. So this is in behind the rectus femoris, vastus medialis, inserted to behind the base of patella, behind the insertion of rectus femoris. Small muscle is articularis genu. It consists of three or four muscular slips which are considered to be detached part of vastus intermedialis. This is the remnant or detached part of vastus intermedialis muscles. Origin, it arising from the anterior surface of lower part of the shaft of femur. Insertion, it insert into the synovial membrane of knee joint. So it is important muscle, intercapsular and intersynovial. So synovial membrane of knee joint. Nerve supply is nerve to vastus intermedius. This is nerve to vastus intermedius branch of femoral nerve. So this is the nerve to vastus intermedius nerve supplied to articularis genu. Actions, it is important in muscles. Action is important. The articularis genu pull up the synovial membrane upward to prevent the damage when knee is extended. When knee is extended, so the synovial membrane very tightly stretched. So it pulls the synovial membrane upward, so prevent the damage of membrane. So it is important muscles attached to insert to synovial membrane of knee joint. So in this diagram, this is the slips of 2 to 3 slips of articularis genu, and this is inserted on the synovial membrane of knee joint. Another muscle is sartorius. Long muscle, ribbon shaped muscle is called the sartorius muscle. It arising from the important anterior superior iliac spine, part of iliac bone, iliac part of hip bone, anterior superior iliac spine, and upper half of nodes immediately below it. So it is origin of sartorius. Then muscle downward, the muscle spirals obliquely across the thigh from lateral to medial side to reach the posterior aspect of medial condyle of femur, and it is inserted into the upper part of medial surface of the shaft of tibia in front of insertion of gracilis and semitennineus. So this is all three muscles form the gyropes, because this is sartorius muscles of front of thigh, gracilis muscle of adductor compartment or middle compartment of thigh, semitendinous muscle belong to back of thigh or hamstring compartment of muscles. So these are three muscles belong to all three compartments of thigh. So this is the sartorius arising from anterior superior spine, then ribbon shape, then cross thigh, and to the tibia, medial upper part of medial surface of tibia. Insertion is hockey stick like insertion, and this is the sartorius muscles. Nerve supply, it is by the anterior division of femoral nerve, supplied by the femoral nerve. Action, it flex the both hip and knee joints, adducts and rotate the thigh laterally. So rotates to thigh laterally, bring the lower limb into the sitting position of a talar. So it is called the talar muscles, or palti position adopted by Indian Hindus during meals. So during meals, when palti position, in this palti position, lateral rotation of thigh occur. So this action is produced by sartorius muscles. So in the hip and knee joints flex and include with adduction and lateral rotation of leg, lateral rotation of thigh. The last muscle is tensor fasciae lata. Origin, it rising from the outer leaf of the iliac crest, extending from the anterior superior spine to the to the tubercle of iliac crest. So tubercle of iliac crest present on 5 cm behind the anterior superior spine, lateral lip. So this is the tubercle of iliac crest. So this is the origin of tensor fasciae lata. Insertion, muscle passes downward and slightly backward and inserted into the iliotibial tract 3 to 5 cm below the level of greater trochanter. So muscle are inserted into the main thick strong band like iliotibial tract. Nerve supply, it is supplied by the superior gluteal nerve because it belongs to the gluteal compartment. So this is the nerve supply to the superior gluteal nerve. Actions, it abduct the hip joint and maintain the extended position of the knee joint through the iliotibial tract. So iliotibial tract abduct the hip joint, and during extension of position of knee joint, it help to extending position of knee joint. So this is the in this diagram, this is the muscles of tensor fasciae lata. So this is iliotibial tract. So this is the anterior superior spine. This is the pubic crest, tubercle of pubic crest, and tubercle of iliac crest, tubercle of iliac crest. So this is the origin of tensor fasciae lata. In this diagram, showing the muscles of front of thigh. This is the quadriceps. This is rectus femoris, vastus lateralis, vastus medialis. Behind the rectus femoris, vastus intermedialis. This is long muscles called the sartorius. This is tensor fasciae lata. This is adductor compartment. This is iliacus. This is the band lateral side. This is band is called the iliotibial tract. Iliotibial tract. So in this front of thigh, one important adductor canal is present. So it is called adductor canal, subsartorial canal, Hunter's canal, because it is discovered by John Hunter. So it is also called Hunter's canal. This is also called the subsartorial canal or Hunter's canal. It extends and extension the adductor canal is an intramuscular tunnel situated in the medial side of the middle 1/3 of the thigh. So it is present on the medial side and middle 1/3 of the thigh. Extension from the apex of femoral triangle to the adductor hiatus. Hiatus means opening between adductor magnus muscle. So the adductor canal is extension from apex of femoral triangle above and tendinous opening in the present on adductor magnus below. So this is the extension of adductor canal. So this is the schematic diagram of front of thigh. So this is a triangular shape area is called the femoral triangle. In apex, this is the base of femoral triangle. This is apex of femoral triangle. So in the apex to the intermuscular opening of in adductor magnus, this tunnel is called the adductor canal. So in this the rhomboid shape is called the popliteal fossa. So this is the canal is called the adductor canal, yeah, subsartorial canal, because it behind lies behind the sartorius muscles. It is so it is called the subsartorial canal. Shape, in the cross section it is triangular in shape. Boundaries are important to this canal. Anterolateral wall formed by the vastus medialis muscles. This is the transverse diagram of
lower one third of thigh. This is femur. This is posterior border linea aspera. So post anteromedially formed by boundaries formed by vastus medialis muscle. Posterior wall or floor is formed by adductor longus. Lower part formed by adductor magnus muscles. Adductor magnus below and then adductor longus above. So this is floor, this is anteromedial wall, posterior or floor of adductor canal. Roof, medial wall or roof is formed by strong fibrous membrane covering the adductor canal. The roof is overlapped. The strong fibrous membrane is overlapped by the muscle, important muscles, sartorius muscle covering the roof. So this is the sartorius muscle. This is strong fibrous membrane. This is the roof of adductor canals. So this is sartorius covering the roof. This is the canal is triangular shaped canal is called the subsartorial canal or Hunter's canal. So this is the boundaries of Hunter's canal, adductor canals contents. So in this canal tunnel, femoral vessels, femoral artery, femoral vein passing through this canal. One is nerve, saphenous nerve cross the femoral vein and artery, and nerve to vastus medialis, it is branch of femoral nerve, and anterior and posterior division of obturator nerve occasionally present, and important artery descending genicular branch of femoral artery. So these are the structure content present on femoral adductor canal. So this is the adductor canal, this is the femoral artery, this is femoral vein, this is nerve to vastus medialis and supplying to vastus medialis muscles. This is saphenous nerve, this is subsartorial nerve plexus behind the sartorius muscles. So these are the content present on adductor canal. So this is a femoral vein, femoral artery, saphenous nerve cross to lateral to medial. So this lateral side to medial side, lower side wall structure changes, artery and vein. This is a anterior and posterior division of obturator nerve. This is nerve to vastus medialis, supplying to vastus medialis muscle. This is the descending genicular artery, branch of femoral artery. So these are the structure present on adductor canal. This is saphenous nerve, branch of femoral nerve. So these nerves cross the femoral vessels, nerve and vein. This is the femoral. This is femoral artery. This is femoral vein. Thank you.